And we are live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Picksburgh. My name is Anthony. I appreciate you joining us. With me, as always, I have the co-hostess with the mostest, Mr. Nate. Every day I'm hustling. If you guys are not subscribed to Nate, I have his link in the description below, as well as the sports card auction that we host weekly. It's on his channel tomorrow, so definitely make sure you're subscribed to him. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nate, for anyone that's new here, do you want to just let them know what kind of videos you do and just how cool your beard is?
What up, guys? Nate, every day I'm hustling. I do a sports card channel as well. Give you guys decent guys you can pick up that's starting to catch some steam, and some guys that are good 401k investments and things like that. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, come on my channel. Gotcha.
Sports Card Anonymous. I didn't even realize you had a live stream last night. I definitely would have been there had I known. Do you stream every single Friday night? So let us know what time, man. I'll definitely roll through. I love a good card stream, man.
Right.
He's asking, is that a green screen or no, Nate?
Yes, it is. It is.
He's just flossing like that. That's our goal, though. Like, one day we want to both have like that kind of slabbage at our disposal.
I probably have enough for like one side of the wall, maybe.
Like currently on you?
Probably.
Or like at PSA and coming back?
Oh, if it was that, it's probably enough for, I mean, I don't know about the tables behind me, but at least probably both walls.
Nice. So Sports Cards Anonymous said that he just started. It's going to be around 6 p.m. Central on Friday. So that's 7 p.m. Eastern our time. So, yeah, man, I'll definitely check it out. In fact, do you have your next show scheduled? Because if you do, I'll set a reminder for YouTube to remind me. That's something I like to do, too, because I am like horrible at remembering things.
Why isn't my chat working? Oh, there it is.
Pull your channel real quick.
Chat wasn't going on. I was like, what the heck? All right, here we go. You guys checking out the Packer game?
What's going on in the Packer game currently?
They're at halftime right now. I think it's 16-10.
Nice.
Definitely a good game.
How much time left?
It's halftime right now.
Nice. All right, man. I got the bell notification on your channel. I didn't see a stream for this upcoming Friday, but I'll keep checking back. But I definitely got the bell on, so I'll be able to check you out next time you go. But yeah, man. Anytime like you have something like that going on, just let me know. Be happy to check it out, especially when it's related to cards. Speaking of. Yeah, no problem, man. If you have any questions or anything like that in regards to streaming or, producing content or anything like that, like we're no like professionals by any stretch of the imagination, but we've been doing it a while. So, any advice or anything that you'd like, we'd be willing to help you out with. Nate's pretty much a whiz with a lot of that back office type stuff.
Yeah, the analytics is stuff I enjoyed to look at. I try to solve the crazy YouTube algorithm, so at least I try to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a tricky one. What up, Lobster? Good to see you, man. Glad that you are here. I haven't used Gamecaster before. The software that I use is StreamYard. It's free for up to 20 hours per month. So depending on how often you plan to live stream, you can, do it for free for up to 20 hours a month. Anything beyond that, like I have the paid version, which is really awesome because I can host like up to 10 people live with me. I can record out of it. I can do all kinds of different stuff. So it's just a really handy program. I can stream, like right now we're streaming to YouTube and to Twitch at the same time. So that's kind of cool, like being able to like just go multiple places at the same time. So, and that, I believe I only pay $25 a month for the paid version, and the paid version, I'm able to like put my logo in there, like custom backgrounds and, all kinds of like little nifty things like that. But yeah, like I said, you can do it for free and it still, works pretty great.
Yeah, StreamYard's pretty decent for what it is. It's just through the browser and stuff like that, so you can run it on your phone and different things like that too. So
I'll show it to you real quick, just so you kind of have an idea of what it's like. All right, so this is kind of like the back office where you guys are right here. You can like pull comments up on the screen. You can share your screen like I am right now. But let me just take you to StreamYard. So this is their website, essentially. Like you'll get there and you can schedule out like different stuff. Like you can go to different places. Like I can stream to my Facebook page, different Facebook groups. This is the Picksburgh YouTube channel. This is a ministry YouTube channel. This is my live channel that we're going to start doing like NBA 2K stuff on there. This is the Twitch that I just started too, which is going to be doing like NBA 2K type stuff. You can add destinations, so you can go to like LinkedIn pages, you can go to Periscope, and then you can go to like custom places too. Like if there's another streaming service that you want to go to that they don't offer on here yet, if you get like the information, that they would require here, you can stream pretty much anywhere through here. But then you can also, like I said, record stuff. And, hey, what's up, Joe? Philly Picker in the house.
What up, Joe?
Yeah, I'm a real big Cavs fan. Sports Cards Anonymous.
Sadly, he loves the DDB.
Yeah, I love me some Cavs.
You been picking up any cards lately?
Yeah, actually, just like in between like us streaming over on Twitch earlier, I just recorded like a pickup video like that I'm probably gonna put out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I picked up some decent stuff. Picked up some stuff that you've been picking up too. One of your main guys with the COVIDs.
Yeah. I picked up some raw.
Yeah, I got 3 graded ones, like really low priced.
Yeah. After you told me about that, I was looking for them, and then they were just all up in price, or I'd miss them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I'm just gonna grab one. I seen a couple raw ones for. No, I think I got the green for 90, and then the base for 50. I'm like, I'll pick them up and grab them, but they were in rough condition. So,
So here's a good question for you, Nate. So he's going to a card show in 2 weeks. Who should he be focusing on? He's looking at AD and Kawhi rookies.
I like AD. AD and the Lakers have a nice little situation with everyone that they currently have. I mean, unless some chemistry issues or something blows up, like possibly what can happen with Brooklyn or something, with Harden going there with Kyrie. I mean, other than that, I just think they're really good in for the long haul, just being like the top dogs for the next few years at least.
Yeah, definitely.
His prices are going to rise, especially if they win another one.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to be safe, like investing in either one of their rookies. But just like Nate said, like I think AD has a lot more upside. You know what I mean? Like he's 25 years old or something like that? Like he's still super, super young, like maybe 26, 27 at the very like oldest. And like he's just entering his prime. So as we saw like last year, for a lot of the year, he was leading the Lakers in almost every category in most of the games, even with LeBron James on the team. So I think that as LeBron continues to age, I think he's going to eat more and more and more. So I think AD, especially if you can get him cheap, like I picked up some of his Hoops rookie cards because, I mean, if getting Prism or Select that year, that's like the first year of those sets. So trying to find those, it's going to be really inflated right now. But like some of like the lower end paper sets, like the Hoops and some of those, like you can really find some cards for good prices raw. And if you get them graded like a 9 or a 10, like they just go up exponentially, especially like I've seen with like the Hoops, the Panini that year, the Prestige, and seems like a lot of those are pretty low pop as well.
Yeah, I was definitely trying to pick up a AD Prism, his PSA 9, and just couldn't find one in my range at the time. So I'm still waiting, hoping to find one for right around 550, but they've been going for close to 7. And if it gets too late in the season, in my luck, it'll go like to 9 because there's only 2,000 9s and 10s of those cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, me just having one is very rare. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
But same thing with Kawhi too. But I think with him, it's a little more risk a little bit because you've seen what happened last year. Like there was so much hype with him that they lost the way they did, and his prices kind of went down. But I'm sure they're starting to go back up a little bit now since the seasons come back around and the hype's back with them.
Yeah, I definitely like on those years, like the 2012s, like if you can't afford the Prism or Select, like that's kind of what I go to most of the time is either the Hoops, the Panini, or the Prestige most of the time. Unless I find something that's an expiring auction and it's like, wow, that's like a great deal. You know what I mean? I'll pick up, what was it, like rookies and not rookies and stars, past and present or something. I got like a Kyrie Irving rookie like that because I think I got it on an expiring auction for like $3. And I was like, yeah, that's like a $40 card. So, but yeah, for the most part, I kind of do try to stick to like the Hoops, Prestige, and the Panini just because it's a little bit bigger of like name sets.
Usually if I can't get Prism, I go Select. For the most part, those are probably going to be half the price of Prism, but with that 12 class and Select being also going to be extra rare because that's a hobby set and that set's super short print to begin with. I mean, just think how many of those Selects are there too. So if you can find a Select for a little bit cheaper than maybe just the Prism, a legit Select card of his, I'd pick that up to, if you can't afford it and it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of those Select cards are pretty slick too. And the nice thing about like the 2012 year is it's like 2 draft classes in one too. So it's like loaded with players. Like right now, like one of the guys that I have in my watch list that I'm going to be pretty much sniping as soon as I get my paycheck through eBay is Bradley Beal. You know what I mean? Like, and actually, Nate had him in his last video. So if you haven't seen Nate's last video, it's one of the guys Nate was suggesting to pick up. And I just been waiting on that paycheck to hit so I can go buy some cards. Had some bills this past week.
Yeah. I went shopping a little bit this week.
Nice.
You might see it on a short or a video, but
nice.
It's basically most of the guys that I talk about. Like AD was one of those guys too in my last video too.
Okay. So Sports Cards Anonymous has a question. It says, did a video on the history of Chrome cards 2012. We all know the first year of Select, but 2014 is the first year of Concourse Premier Courtside. So only one base. Touche. That is a very good point. So they actually only had one base card in the first 2 years too. So that would make it like a little more rare. That's awesome.
I think that was Joker's rookie year. I think because I think for him
Joker 15.
Or no, maybe he was 14. I can't remember who it was then, because they were saying that basically all the premieres were silver, unless that was football. I can't remember now.
Yeah, that's a great fun
like that,
though, man. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I think anything LeBron in that time frame is like really undervalued.
Yeah, as the days go by, basically LeBron stuff's going to kind of creep up because he's getting closer and closer to that retirement age. So his cards are going to be like basically Jordans for the most part.
Yeah, definitely, dude. You know what's awesome too? I was digging through a box, and the funny thing is that this box has been on display for every auction we've done, and I just haven't opened it because I've been using it to set stuff on. I found like 11 or 12 Michael Jordans in it today. They were all like minty fresh. They were like pack fresh Michael Jordans. I was like, yeah, those are going in the auction.
Right.
Heck, some of them might even go to PSA. Yeah, definitely. Sports Cards Anonymous. I think a lot of like the LeBron stuff's going to be highly collectible. I think even in some of like the key sets, even if it's not like his rookie set, but like say like the Kevin Durant set where his top's chrome, getting a LeBron in that I think is going to be key. You know what I mean? Just like getting like a Michael Jordan in like Kobe Bryant's rookie year, or any of those other sets is like a little bit more key. I think you're going to start to see that with LeBron stuff, as he starts to, wind down his career and even into retirement. I think a lot of those cards in key sets are going to rise in value too. So Nate was sharing with me today. I don't know if any of you guys have heard, but we were talking in our prediction show, like when we were predicting like what would the future of sports cards be. Nate said something to the effect of machines and computers are going to be grading cards instead of people. So today, I was just kind of chilling out at the house and I get a text message from Nate, and there's a company now. It's called Hybrid Grading Approach, HGA, that is now doing this. And they're like brand spanking new. So I just wanted to kind of share them with you guys and get your opinion on it, because what I saw for them, like as far as price, like I was a little bit flabbergasted, kind of with what their asking prices are for being a brand new company. But let's take a look at their website. I like how their tagline is like pricing and turnaround time and stuff like that. But let's see if I can.
Yeah, like
10 days means 10 days. Like, is that not a direct shot at PSA?
Oh yeah, I mean any grading company for the most part right now. Really.
They do color coordinated labels too, so essentially you're going to get like team colored like slabs, which is kind of cool. So like you see right here, this dude's like a green player. He's going to have a green slab, and like, all these guys are going to have slabs that kind of coordinate with, kind of whatever team that they're with. What up, Alex? Good to see you, man.
What up?
Yeah, I hope it will. Sports Cards Anonymous. They could get through so many cards so much faster if they just have it automated. So essentially, like, what is it? So customer service is like supposedly the best with them, bar none.
That's what it says.
Says they're consistent, unbiased, and unsubjective grading. HGA is revolutionizing the industry by implementing software that will allow us to scan, analyze, and grade cards without subjectivity. Each card is scanned at ultra high resolution. The scanner sees better than a magnifying glass and can pick up blemishes the size of a speck of dust. It's easy to submit, simple pricing, pay by the day, not by the value of the card. And that's something that I really think is going to be allowing some of these other companies like SGC and BGS to kind of hang in there a little bit with PSA is because if like your cards go up in value while they're sitting there, me and Nate were talking about this off air, you're going to have to be upcharged on your cards. You know what I mean? So that's definitely something to like keep in mind. And, you know, this is something that they say they're not going to do as well. They're just going to charge you a flat fee based on time frame. Oh, dude, Alex, you should definitely set some stuff aside for grading, man. So is it football, basketball? Like what sports do you have? Because
he probably got hoop, I'm guessing. Unless it's this year's football.
Dude, you should just hop in a StreamYard with us sometime, man, and show us what you have, and we'll kind of like, you know, show you like verbatim like what's good, what you should grade and what you shouldn't. But yeah, this is just like super cool that they're finally doing something like this.
The only thing that makes me worried is like, okay, I got PSA 10s here, I got PSA 9s here. If I would go to this company or submit my cards, am I going to get 7s? Am I going to get 9s? Are they just going to adapt to what the grades are already on the card and, you know, just kind of put it through or whatever? Now, if they were just going to say, okay, let's put it through, this could have a shot. But, you know, unless PSA was like, okay, we're going to adapt this to send your cards in, we'll reslab them for, you know, $5 because that's what they're doing now. They're doing it for $8. They're doing a crossover for security because of a lot of this slab stuff with BGS and stuff like that. They're doing the Lighthouse security tag on it. So this way you can see if they're legit or not.
Right now it's $8 for you to cross over a BGS to PSA.
No. Like if you have an old PSA slab, like one is from like the early days, like the 90s.
PSA slab.
Right. So you can have it because what happened is, I guess when they were, you know, newer company or whatever, they didn't have all the cards like counted or the names matching up for all the names. Like when you go in there now, if I type in Tyler Hero, say blue reactive, it will add it to the list, and then whatever that grade is, will add to the grading population. So there are some cards out there that, you know, they're out there, the count is wrong. They have to add those in. So once they do this Lighthouse program that they're doing now, where you send the cards back in to $8, they'll give you the security tag, and then if it was out of sorts, they'll add it back to population to correct the population.
Okay, that's what's up. We'll say what's up to Paul, Gate City Picker. Good to see you, my man. He is 1/3 of our Sunday auctions. And Land Shark Pickers in the house. What up, Craig? Good to see you, my man. Awesome to see you. Alex, if you want to share a link to your show later on, man, feel free. But yeah, so this was one of the things that really caught me off guard. Now, at first, I didn't realize this was going to be computer grading. I thought this was just like a regular grading company that kind of came out the cut. Now, this is a brand new grading company, right? So best value, $35. Okay, so I'm thinking like, okay, well, if you're a new grading company, like, shouldn't you be competing with the GMAs, not the PSAs? You know what I mean? So like, even that's $20 more than SGC. You know what I mean? So that was one thing that kind of had me, you know, going through a loop a little bit, was just how expensive, like the very cheapest it is to get a card graded is $35 per card. Yeah, it's insane. And then the most popular apparently is the 10-day service, which is $55 a card. I mean, PSA right now, you can send cards in for $50. You know what I mean? And considerably less if you go through like some kind of a subgroup or whatnot. And I guess they're coming out with a 2-day service now that's going to be $100 a card. So, I mean, what's the value of their slab going to be? Because we were looking on eBay, and as of right now, I don't think there's any of their slabs on eBay. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that did Paul? Yeah, okay. So Paul looked it up. I didn't know if it was you or Paul, Nate. Yeah, Paul says that he looked it up and he found none of their cards on eBay. So for me, like coming into it like brand new, like I mean, obviously, like if this takes off, it could be a really big thing. But what's going to stop like PSA from going, hey, we're still the best. Now we can just go buy the machines too and implement that here with our grade scale. Wouldn't PSA still kind of be like the top value? At least in my opinion.
Yeah,
But I could see this, like for example, like with PSA. Like when you go to PSA, like even if you send in like a whole bunch, like a whole stack of like pristine cards, they're going to give you just some nines just so they like protect the population, at least in my opinion. But I don't think a machine would do that unless it's programmed to. I don't know. What do you think, Nate?
I don't know, man. Like to me, like the hobby would have to choose that this is king. So people would literally have to start grading with this, love the process. It's killing PSA's time, at least right now. But I'm always skeptical of something like this anyway. You know what I mean? Like they're a new company. We don't know who they are or what they are. You know what I mean? And you send in a $20,000 ion, you might not be getting it back. So I don't know.
Wouldn't that be horrible? Like you send in like a card that could buy you a vehicle and like the company shuts down and just goes into limbo. That would be awful.
I'd rather just send it to PSA. I know it's insured. Their company is the top dog or one of the top dogs, depending on the person you talk to. And they are backed up, but it's for good reason. The hobby's exploding. There's tons of value. There's tons of great players and vintage players that are making money and or value of their cards. So it's just a good time to be here. Hopefully PSA just kind of picks it up and especially some of our submissions and one that I've sitting in PSA still. So from before I started doing submissions.
I just can't believe that pricing, man. Like I was going to submit a card. Like when you first sent this to me, I was going to submit at least a couple just to like test it because it was brand new. And then I was like, yeah, no, because like that right there is that like $35 a card. That's like not even worth a video to me, like. Right.
Yeah, Sports Card Anonymous is, said that people aren't even adopted SGC yet. You know what I mean? And that was basically alley-oop by Gary Vee. So he spoke for the company and at least kind of put them in the mix or whatever the case may be. But in all reality, I'm finding SGCs, which I only have 2 of, and I got them for a good price. And I think that is because PSA is what everyone wants, and you're not getting top dollar for it.
That is like one of the better analogies, Craig. Yes, they are the prairie grit of card graders. Absolutely. That's a e-commerce term for anyone who's not aware of that. Prairie Grit is a company that was started by a bunch of people who left eBay and wanted to like have like a better platform. So that's pretty cool. Alex is like, what is a Prairie Grit? My man Craig coming out the cut with some of that knowledge. That's what I love.
Yeah, Alex, it would have to be if they price themselves like super cheap, like I'm talking GMA or cheaper, just to get their name out there and so people can see the slabs and stuff like that. Now, you can have a shot at maybe getting a little bit of the market share, having a chance to survive in the marketplace. But, how many people, we don't like paying, at least me, I'm super cheap. I'm a reseller at heart, you know what I mean? From, selling stuff on eBay before cards and, you know what I mean? Like anytime something costs money, like super high dollar amounts, I'm like, oh man, like I feel like I'm just giving my money away. So like for me to give even more away on every card, I mean, it would really have to up the value of the card. So say you get, LeBron, you crack the slab, you send it into them, it comes back a pristine 10.
Yeah.
Then that card should just 4x guaranteed no matter what the PSA is.
Yeah.
That would be mainly the only way that I could see that ever doing it, because anytime you add, you grade the cards, you add value to it. it would even have to add even more value. That'd be the only way I could see that possibly ever having a chance.
Definitely. Yeah, and see the thing I really like too, especially if it's like personal collection type stuff, or it's like, you know, just cards you want to be first to the market at, where you don't want to spend like an arm and a leg at. Like, for example, I just did this with a bunch of Prism draft picks where I was trying to get the cards back and graded before, you know, any of the not college, but pro jersey unis came out. So, you know, I was able to submit to GMA, and it says on their website that it should be, I'm pretty sure, 25 business days. But it was saying that they were backed up just as of like a couple of weeks ago when I submitted with them. It said that they were backed up, you know, like 45 days. So then I got an email basically telling me that they were back on their regular time frame. And I ended up getting my submission back from them in 1 week's time. Like from the time it like got to their facility to the time it got back to my door, it was like literally 1 week. It was like the fastest service I'd ever seen. And they're the cheapest right now at $8 per card, or if you submit over 100, $6 per card. Now, I haven't sold any of my slabs yet that I got back from them, but I only got 7. Like, I only submitted 7 in my first submission because I had somebody else splitting the submission with me. So we just kind of wanted to test the waters with them. We submitted a PSA 9 over there to see what exactly their grading scale was compared to PSA, and it came back a GMA 9. So they graded the exact same as PSA. And then we also submitted some, well, I didn't, my buddy did, submitted some cards that he didn't look over real well, that he wasn't expecting to get like a 9 or a 10 or anything like that. And he did get like 2 8s and 2 8.5s. Then he got a couple 9s as well. So they don't just give all 10s. So they, you know, they actually do their due diligence with, you know, their grading and stuff. So I was really happy to see that before I like really invested a lot of money into sending stuff to like what most people consider to be a lower end company. You know what I mean? I wanted to, you know, really just give it a good, you know, good test. And like, I would be comfortable sending to them again just because of how cheap it was and how fast it was. I never expected it. You know, I probably right now I think I have 4 submissions out with Nate, and I have a SGC submission, and all of those were sent like considerably before I sent GMA, and GMA was like the first pack. It was like the most recent one I sent and the first one that came back.
The GMA's, you know, they're definitely a company that, you know, depending on the situation, they're definitely good to use. If it's just something for the PC, you want to, you know, just slap them up, and you never want to sell them, go ahead and use them. They're cheap, they're quick, you know, they're a decent slab. But I think PSA is always going to be that top dog.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Thanks to Nate Dizzy, I got the very next card that's going to be going to GMA. Check this out, guys. This is pretty epic. I picked this up yesterday for $1.69. Nate sent me this as an I don't know if any of you guys have seen my cat Nala, but this looks exactly like him. It's like a fur patch. So yeah, I picked that up, and that's going to GMA. It's going down. It's going down for real.
Alex, if you want if you're looking for someone to look over your cards and send them in, I do that, man. So hit me up if you have any questions, or if you want me to do it, let me know.
Yeah, Nate's awesome with it too, Alex. Like, he actually, the last order I submitted through him, he actually pulled some cards out that I overlooked some stuff. And I'm like really finicky with my cards. Like the GMA order I got all 10s of like all 7 cards I sent because I'm like so anal with the way I look at them. But he found like, I think 4 cards out of however many I sent him that like had some kind of minor defect. So definitely, I highly recommend Nate for grading and stuff like that.
Paul, I agree, man. With GMA not having pop reports, it's the one thing that's kind of kind of stinks. But for most people, they're just looking to have it slabbed up and for like a beginner or whatever.
Alex said he did hit you up, but he didn't get back to him, and you need to check Messenger. Oh, he got some Pokemon too, man. Yeah, Pokemon's hot right now as far as getting graded. Like that's one of the big things I regret not doing when I sold off my Pokemon. Well, most of my Pokemon collection. I got a little bit left, but one of the big things was I didn't grade a lot of it, and like just seeing like the crazy price jump that a lot of those cards get graded. Like I regret that. Cha-Cha's in the house. What up? Junking data girl. See you, Cha-Cha. So yeah, it's $20 per autograph cards, which like that kind of sucks that it's an upcharge there. But I understand, like, because this would be like certifying autographs, like to where they actually have to do like the authentication, like where they have to like say, yeah, this is Pete Rose's autograph or it is not, you know, type of thing. So I mean, I guess that's not too bad. Like considered some of the other companies are like way more for like authenticating stuff. I actually might send that Willie Stargell auto in to GMA as well because of dude, you need to show that off, bro. That thing is slick. Here, hold on. Let me put the GMA down and I'll bring you up big.
This is my little device. Got the light on it and then the magnifying, but definitely awesome to use when looking at raw cards. I mean, for the most part, just like the corner issues like that I can't see, I guess, as nice as I want, but it basically will tell me for sure if something's a 10 or not, just using this after going through all the grading steps and everything.
Yeah, do that.
It's neat. Just attached to my desk, slide it up, slide it down.
Yeah,
has a little light. It'll be nice for the auction too. Have another like little LED.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the best part about it is like the PSA is using a like magnifier like that too with a light. So you're getting like the closest experience you can get to somebody grading your cards when you're sending it to somebody who's like literally going to like clean and like pre-grade them. Like this last time I subbed with him, I had these Heinz Ward rookie cards that were like Topps Finest, and they were the ones that come with like that film over them to like protect it. And, you know, Nate's like, I think you would get much better surface grades without the film, you know? So like he even went so far as to like remove the film and like shine up the surface and everything. You know what I mean? So like those are things like a lot of people don't get if you just send it to PSA yourself and you don't know like the techniques with like microfibers and cleaning cloths and like all these things to like clean up a card without damaging it, you know? So that's something I like, you know what I mean? And it's cheaper than going to PSA and sending cards in for $50. You know what I mean? Nate'll hook you up for like well under $20. You know what I mean? So it's well worth it for PSA. You're not going to get those prices like any cheaper. You know what I mean? Because let's look at their price guide, right? Oh no, that would be under services.
Yeah, it's $50 unless you have like a membership or whatever.
Yep. So these are like the membership prices and everything, but essentially like this is where most people are starting out is $50 per card. Unless you can get into somebody's like economy package. And even right now, this $10 is locked. So, you know, being able to like really get into a lot of that stuff is.
I wonder what that is.
What's that? The $10 one or the?
Yeah. They must have some promotion for like a quarterly or something.
Need to join the Collectors Club to unlock.
Pretty sure I'm about to pop mine up.
Yeah, check that out since you have a actual PSA account. So I do all my PSA grading through Nate, so I don't ever really necessarily have to, you know, sign up for that kind of stuff.
I'm about to see what that is right now. It might, unless they have something for
like you don't have to get them cleaned, Alex, but like a lot of times, like for example, like where for the longest time I was keeping my cards in my basement because that's like kind of where I had all of my eBay stuff. And when we had our floors done, a lot of dust and stuff fell from our roof like down into like, you know, from the floorboards down like into like the little top loaders. And just after time, like even if you just have your cards just sitting somewhere and they're not in a covered box, they can very easily get like dust particles and like dirt chunks and like all kinds of different things in there. And a lot of times, like when PSA looks at your card, even if it's just like a dirt chunk that they can just wipe right off, they're going to say, okay, that's a 9 instead of a 10. You know what I mean? And their whole thing is, well, it's not like our job to like clean your cards. So what I like to do is, you know, have that extra layer protection, you know, especially if I'm buying it like from somebody else and I don't know where that card has been. You know what I mean? I at least like to, if I think it's gradable, I like to give it to somebody else who like will like put on the gloves and, you know, polish it up and try to make it look a little bit nicer so that I can get like the best possible grade. Just kind of like I did with the Heinz Ward, because if it was me, I probably would have just sent him in with the film, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I don't have like the high powered microscope thing like Nate has, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, I might not have caught like, you know, little edges of the film being up or something like that, because to my naked eye, it looked good. You know, so those are just, you know, some of the benefits to, you know, kind of going through somebody that really like understands what PSA is looking for.
Yeah,
that's awesome, Cha-Cha. She said 3,500 last night.
Woo-woo.
Congratulations. Here comes 4K and 5K.
That $10 pricing was for TCG cards, 20 minimum, and it was for vintage cards from 71 and earlier. That was their special promo that they were doing.
What exactly are the hot TCG cards from 71 and earlier?
Oh, no, TCG from all years.
Okay, I was going to say that's like
I didn't think
Pokemon came out in the 90s. Like, I don't know when Magic came out, but like, I don't know if they were playing that in the 70s. I would say maybe Dungeons and Dragons. What up, AB? Good to see you, my man. Said you DM me on, was that on Twitter? I'll definitely check out your football break. When are you doing the break, man? Is it today?
Thanks, Cha-Cha.
Yeah, Nate just hit 1,500. Yep. Grunt Dad's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Grunt Dad has a really awesome YouTube channel. And actually, I met Grunt Dad on eBay. He picked up some cards off me a while ago. And, you know, he was like, hey, you know, I do these mail days and stuff on YouTube. But he actually is the guy that kind of really got me thinking about GMA. He does a lot of grading with PSA and GMA. So if you guys haven't checked his channel out and you like cards, check out Grunt Dad. I really enjoy his stuff. He's a good dude. So does anybody have any like specific questions in regards to like the grading process or anything like that with PSA that Nate could like kind of dig a little bit deeper into for us, since he does a lot of submissions? And this is definitely something that we, oh yeah, I'll drop his link. Give me 1 sec, Paul.
Yeah, we'll be having good.
I was just going to say that's something that we plan on getting a little bit more into, is more and more PSA subs in our Facebook group, and we'll be doing more GMA subs and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure that the surface of like your cards and stuff like that when you're submitting them, like you actually probably want to even get new sleeves and stuff. That's something I'm gonna start doing with submissions too, putting everything in new sleeves, new card savers. This way, you know, that card is as clean as possible going to PSA, because after you clean it, you put it back in a dirty sleeve, you got all that dust and all that stuff on it. So I just ordered 1,000 sleeves, and I'm going to be stocking up that type of stuff. So this way I just have tons on hands, because I know I'm going to be grading a lot. You guys have been sending me tons of stuff, and there's already a few people that already started grading with me and stuff. So it's been pretty awesome. I just want to offer something that it's community friendly, not anything trying to, jack up the price and make a bunch of money. Just a little bit of money for my time, a little bit for supplies and stuff, and I'm good. I just like dealing with the cards. It's helps me like chill out and like relax.
So, Chacha, you can actually get like through group submissions, you can get a lot better rates because a lot of people that do group submissions get special rates through PSA just because they send so much in. So essentially, like right now, if you're just sending in like single cards and not doing like a big bulk amount, it's $50 a card. But Nate, what would, like, for example, what would the difference be like if they were to sub through you? Like, how much would they be paying for cards?
On like the new stuff, it's $17 and it's $15 for anything 2017 and older. And then if it's anything older than 71 and older, then I would do like 12 or $13, something like that, depending on how many cards. And then TCG stuff would be the same thing as the old vintage, just a couple bucks just to cover, like I said, supplies and just a little bit for my time.
Yeah, and if you guys know, like recently in the market, like even getting top loaders and stuff, like for example, I did a mail day recording today and my buddy Paul found some top loaders. So he sent me some top loaders at cost, but buying top loaders, like even on like eBay or Amazon or places like that now, like even sometimes the market is like up on those to where you're spending a little bit higher. So just the card savers that he sends to PSA, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty good value, and the nice thing with Nate, at least for me, is like he gives me all my cases and stuff back because those are like gold to me, especially like when you crack a lot of cards. Like I try my best to like open at least like one new product a week, and not having new top loaders is like the worst thing ever. Like for the past couple months, I've been cycling through like all of like these old crusty ones I found at yard sales that like look like the top loader might have had a bad smoking habit for the past 20 years because it's like yellow and nasty looking. So like getting brand new, like pristine ones is awesome. And then also getting top loaders back is awesome too. And the nice thing I like about GMA is just watching like GMA videos and stuff before I submitted. And I think Grunt Dad might have actually said this too. You can ask for your top loaders back and they'll give them to you. And I said, hey, please return my top loaders with the slabs. And like I said, I did a 20 card order. They probably sent me over 50 top loaders back. So like, I just thought that was super cool of them as well.
I'm gonna ask for PSA, but we'll see. I doubt that they will, but I requested it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, actually, he just put that in there. he literally just put that in there. That's awesome. I was going to say, yeah, I was pretty sure I heard that from your channel. Yep, they'll send them back to you for free.
Yeah, like Pittsburgh's and Paul and everyone that's been sending me stuff. Like I save all their stuff, so when the slabs come back, and then if any cards that don't, that I tell you about, like, hey, this one, I don't know about, I'll save and then I'll send it all back with your submission. Or if you want those back right away because you want to sell it on eBay, then, just send me a label. I would just send it, or I'll just, charge you whatever it costs to ship back. So,
yeah, he can do all the Pokemon too, Cha-Cha, like pretty much any kind of cards.
Yeah.
That's awesome, AB. That's the thing I love about the hobby, and like getting to meet a whole bunch of people through the hobby is like we all kind of look out for each other. You know what I mean? Like I was like literally just a few hours before the live, I was just going through stuff, like pulling stuff out to send to Paul. You know what I mean? And I just got a big stack of stuff in. And by the way, Blaine, thank you very much for those Cavs cards. Those were pretty amazing. Those made my day. But I love that about the hobby is like we take care of each other, you know what I mean? And especially like if I ever find product, you know what I mean? For the most part, if I find more than just like the personal amount to open, I'm always hitting Nate up like, hey, dude, this place has X amount. Do you want it? You know what I mean? So I think for the most part, a lot of us try to look out for each other when we can. Absolutely, Bobby. I am there with you, man. Fellowship's super important. I think that's why, like, this is one of my favorite things to do, like, hobby-wise throughout the week is just, like, this Q&A hangout thing because literally it's just us hanging out and talking sports cards, which is, like, what we love. And for example, like I could talk about this stuff till I'm blue in my face, and my wife is like just looking at me like, "Are you crazy?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about Zion Williamson's rookie card and the population on his select versus optic. You know what I mean? But I could come on here and like I say something about it to Nate, and next thing I know, he's on Market Mover showing me graphs, and somebody in the chat is saying, "Well, did you know about this or that?" And it's like it's awesome. Oh, that's awesome, Cha-Cha. So she's used a lot of cards for like art projects. So she has a bunch of like sleeves and top loaders and stuff, Nate.
Oh, that's awesome.
Heck yeah. You could probably, because Cha-Cha does a lot of YouTube auctions. Cha-Cha, you could probably even lot those up and sell those at auction. Like I know sports card people. Like if I knew you were selling top loaders, I'd roll through and pick them up.
Occasion said Nate in his charts. No, I got to drop a couple charts.
It's all about them charts. Heck yeah. Dude, speaking of charts, man, have you seen a lot of the basketball market right now?
It's been crazy, man. Everything's been going up for the most part. So it's a good market to be in. Very few people are kind of staying stagnant. So some guys who, like Luka, you're not going to see much movement in his prices. His price went down a little bit right now because they're not, Porzingis isn't there, so it's a little harder for him to play like he's normally set to play all by himself out there. So
he's coming back though, man. So I think there's going to be a big uptick in Luka's value coming soon. One thing I was just listening to in a podcast today is certain cards that haven't quite made the jump, like from their chromium to their papers. And from what I understand, like the LeBron Topps 221 is in line for like a pretty like hefty jump because the Topps Chrome went up like pretty nice in value, but the paper didn't. And that was something that I kind of wanted to look into, just like the difference there, because like that's definitely something that I'm looking to upgrade as my LeBron right now. I think one of my next submissions with Nate, I'm going to try to do a crossover. I have a BGS 8.5 that I picked up because I thought it was a nice enough looking card to be a PSA 9 just from the look of it. So I'm definitely going to try to do a crossover with that one. So we had a question here. Opinion question. Is the baseball market officially taking a backseat to the basketball market value-wise? I think every market's pretty much taking a backseat to basketball at this point. Like, baseball could overtake it again in the future. I just think right now, basketball is such a global sport, where, baseball may not be something that is a global thing. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like over in England, they're playing cricket, you know what I mean? Or like India, they're playing cricket, or, it's like something similar to baseball, but they're not quite playing it. Whereas like some of those other places, like soccer is pretty much everywhere, but basketball, like one of their initiatives in the NBA is to actually send like people into remote villages in different places. Like they did this really big time in Africa, and just to kind of scout different players and stuff like that. Oh, that's awesome, Cha-Cha. She said that I sold her a bunch of icicles out of that one storage unit I got with all the Christmas decorations. She said she paid $20 and sold them for $240. That is amazing. I love it. Yeah, that's a great flip. And those are the kind of deals you guys can find if you go to some of these YouTube channels that do YouTube auctions. Like Cha-Cha does them on the Junk and Data Girl. Me and Nate do them on our channels. I every once in a while will do like different auctions where I offer more than just sports cards. For the most part on this channel, we've been mainly focusing on sports cards lately, but that's only because I'm like a full-blown sports card addict at this point. It's bad. It's really bad. I find myself doing sketchy things to meet my sports card needs.
But I wanted to answer Grunt's question with my opinion on like the market. For me, I think it could like kind of go both ways, like depending on how the draft class is for the upcoming rookies and stuff like that. If you see someone that, like last year draft class, I mean, a lot of players were getting a lot of playing time. There's a lot of gradable guys that were in last year's class, but this year's class, there might be 4 or 5 maybe that right away people are happy about getting in these packs. So, you know, depending on what baseball's got coming up, it could go either way, you know what I mean? But it's whatever value, whatever is the best value in the pack. I think with all the sports, I think it's going to kind of flip-flop. You know, whatever has the most hype. If that class has a hype, then you'll be in good shape.
That I do, Cajun. That I do. Let me show you Exhibit A. Where's he at? Good old Dylan Windler. I literally have almost every Dylan Windler ever printed. It's a sickness. It is a sickness. Just like last night, we were playing 2K, and like literally, I'm over there draining threes with Larry Nance Jr. Not because he's a 3-point specialist, because he's like my favorite basketball player. You know, it's just the way I roll.
Anthony had Larry Nance Jr. playing like LeBron James in his like Cavs prime. Like, I don't understand what was going on with that.
Dude, I even put a TikTok video up with Larry Nance Jr. today. I don't know if any of you guys saw the video from yesterday or not. But what up, Jimmy? Old school flips in the house.
They're on his bench yelling in his players' faces. You guys are bums. Look at what Larry Nance Jr.'s doing to you. He's ripping you apart. You're gonna let Larry Nance rip you apart. They're on his bench yelling in his.
Yeah, so basically it was we were having some fun. My TikTok is just Picksburgh. Like almost everything I have is Picksburgh or that with some form of number behind it. So yeah, it's TikTok is Picksburgh, Twitch is Picksburgh, YouTube obviously is Picksburgh, and I got some numbers on Twitter and some numbers on Insta. I'm pretty much Picksburgh everywhere. But yeah, that's already up to like 162 views, Nate. It's not too bad. Like, I feel like it's a lot easier to go viral on TikTok than it is YouTube.
I don't know. I tend just to like scroll up on everything and watch. So Paul said he even says it on your underwear.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all of your insights too, Grunt Dad. Like I said, man, like you're super knowledgeable.
Grunt Dad with basketball, like it just seemed like every year there was that couple guys that really had hype. You had Zion, you had Ja, you had Luka. This year you had Trey, and then you have like some other rookies in the 19 and plus the 20 draft because Prism hasn't even dropped yet. So we'll see. We'll get to see what the basketball market's like as soon as that Prism drops and really see what it's looking like. But, you know, honestly, I'm going to say it's a little more down for, say, 20, like the new guys. And then it kind of goes up more with the 19 guys with basketball because people are going to be searching for that, you know, somebody else to go after or other guys to go after. So, like, I've even went back to a couple guys in some other draft classes that, you know, really picking up steam that you can buy for cheap or whatever too.
Nice. What's a reel, Jimmy? He says reels are crazy. He had 4K views in 10 minutes yesterday. That's awesome. Like the best I've ever done, like for TikTok, it was Christmas, right? And Ash's Gram came over to the house and she went to sit on the couch, and as she went to sit down, I made like a farting sound, and she like literally thought she crapped herself, got up and like checked herself. And that like has like 70 some thousand views on TikTok. It's insane. Like the things that go viral over there that would never work on YouTube.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one, Jimmy's video. I think that's the one I watched and I commented on it. I think I'm pretty sure I've seen that one.
Is that like a short, or is that like on a different platform, the reel?
I think it's a short. I'm pretty sure, but unless he's talking about something else.
That's awesome though, dude. Oh, Instagram's TikTok. Gotcha. I'm going to have to do something over there. I haven't put anything like that on Instagram. My Instagram's basically a shrine of like my cats and dogs, and well, cat and dogs, and cards, pretty much. Like all the things I really like.
Yeah, Grant Dad's right. Basketball has been insane of late. I think it's going to continue to be that way until we run into. One sport that I haven't even looked at is soccer. Man,
You see, Paul?
Soccer has been crazy.
Yeah.
So I was watching a break, and they were pulling $500 soccer rookies out of a pack, and I'm like, is every sport on fire like this? Like, there's always basically some chromium that rips, and next $500 rookies come out like dollar bills. Like, so every sport's almost in a way gaining a lot of market and money and stuff like that. But the thing that's crazy is soccer is probably bigger than any sport because it's literally international. So it's something I might start picking up or looking at moving forward. A little bit of soccer.
I think pretty much in any sports, as long as you get the goats, you're pretty much fine. You know what I mean? And as far as going back to the overall value, I think he's right in the sense, as far as true vintage. I don't know if anything's ever going to be more valuable than true vintage baseball cards, because you figure the Honus Wagners, or you know what I mean, any of those crazy super old cards that are out there. I could see eventually Jordans and Lou Alcindors and those type of things getting into that range, but I just think that there's just so much more old stuff on the baseball side. So I kind of see his point there. I think as far as the modern market, I think basketball is probably going to stay the hottest for a little while, just with the influx of new people coming into it. I think is definitely a big driving force. I think, in my opinion, NBA is probably the fastest growing of the major sports, in the world, per se. So I could definitely see the basketball market continuing to kind of boom, especially if they keep having, solid draft prospects come through like we've had the past few years. Right now, even this draft class, which many considered to be one of the weakest draft classes, in recent history, they're even overperforming. So, I think as long as that can become a thing, and then the sneaker culture and, basically the people that like to jump at the market every single game, I think basketball drives that more than a lot of the other sports too. I don't know. What do you think, Nate?
I don't know. I like what Bobby says here. He says it seems like to me Zion, Ja, and Luka carry the market in basketball. Then you go to baseball, Top Series 2, for example. You may get a Robert rookie. It's just harder for one player to carry a flagship product to the next level, and that's true. That's possibly what could happen this year, kind of for basketball, since there's only a couple guys. Maybe baseball has that next class, and all the money goes back to baseball, but. It's just so weird with football. I don't understand how, some of these other guys, these other star running backs, for example, Aaron Jones, for the Packers, you think his card would be pretty decent to have, or, whatever. But I don't know if it's the how football is anymore. These guys only play these short careers, or only, Le'Veon Bell, for example. Mm-hmm. If this was basketball, he'd be, for his rookie, when he was with the Steelers, he'd be one of the hottest cards to get. He'd be like the LeBron or whatever, he'd be one of the guys. He was crushing the league. Then all of a sudden he gets free agency, goes to the Jets, and he just doesn't perform because he's not a good team right now. You know what I mean? Sam Darnold has underperformed. Their offensive line didn't perform. He kind of must have gave up. So, it's almost like because these guys aren't having these longer careers, it's not getting that love. But also the vintage stuff, like a Joe Montana rookie should be like the, kind of like the LeBron or the Jordan, and then the Tom Brady should be like the LeBron. You know what I mean? So, or vice versa, however you look at it. So, It's weird how one can do so much better than the other when, baseball probably for the longest you would think would have been the go-to, especially like the old stuff like Mantle and Babe Ruth and stuff. Those should be like the iconic guys, but it's LeBron and Michael Jordan basically running the market.
Dude, speaking of which, like, I'm sure you probably would know this just off by, just by knowing the market really well and, being a connoisseur of eBay. But who would you guess are the top 3 most like watched basketball players on eBay like right now?
I'm gonna go with LeBron.
That's one of them.
Jordan.
That's 2 of them.
It's probably going to be a Cav in here just because you just brought this up. So
well, LeBron, I consider LeBron like a all-time Cav. So anytime you say LeBron, we're not talking about the Lakers. We're talking about Cleveland.
Yeah, Bobby's right.
Kobe. Yep.
Kobe. Yeah.
Yep.
Because those cards are going up and turning into the almost like the Mantle, Ruth, and Lou Gehrig or whatever, or Honus Wagner tobacco card from back when. So it's just crazy how the market's kind of telling us what's what, Yep.
That's, I mean, and I can understand too, because like for me, my personal investment strategy is like, I want to keep some of like the young goats, you know what I mean? I would say young studs. They're not young goats yet. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I want to take a lot of like the bulkage I have of those and start turning them into more like LeBron, Jordan, Kobe type stuff. You know what I mean? That's going to continually go up and whatnot.
I'm just hoping I don't catch it too late and it's already out of my realm, because if you paid attention to what even Kobe's are, like say like a like the one Sasha T got. It was basically like pristine, like the silver and the refractor and all that is pristine. He paid $42,000, but he only paid $30,000 for the Jordan. That was because that Kobe, because of sunlight and stuff like that, it was getting that fade, and that card in that condition now that he put in that case is going to, basically stay at that value because it's not going to get discolored, and it's going to even be even more short print. So, even if you got other, cards, if they're at 8 or 7 in a Kobe Topps rookie or a chrome, and the coloring is good, it might actually be worth more than a 9 that is, so.
Yep. That's a really tough set to find something that hasn't greened at this point. So if you can find those Kobe's, and even if you get one that isn't, just like Sasha showed in that video, they make special containers to keep all sunlight out, and it'll actually gauge like the moisture to the slab as well. So that's pretty cool to see that they have something like that out there, because you figure it's going to be inevitable at some point. Some of these cards that are made like that with like poorer material, I would say, are going to begin to deteriorate more and more. So it's cool that they have something to kind of stop that from happening.
I mean, like on the cards that they released today, for example, I'm going to guess that doesn't happen, or let's say rarely happens, because, that card's from, 96 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that card, was one of the ones that, okay, we messed up. We got to come back to the drawing board because we're having these fading issues. So, or at least I hope so. You would hope that the product would keep, continuing. You would hope so.
That's like the Super Nintendo of sports cards,
right?
Instead of yellow ingot greens,
right?
Yeah, I would love to get me a Kobe refractor though. Like as of right now, I don't have one, but that's definitely one of my bucket list. Like even just getting a Topps Chrome Kobe, like I'd be fine with that. Even a paper Kobe at this point, I'd be fine with. You know what I mean? Like I have a couple Kobe rookies graded. Like the one I really like is the Z Force. That one is just like super slick. It's all comic book esque.
You want to know what's funny? Like once the Jordan rookie goes up in the stratosphere of basically untouchable cards to buy anymore, at least for the common collector. His archive cards are probably going to be the next one that you start seeing become $200-$300 cards. So if you see them going around for cheap, I'd probably start grabbing a few just to stash, because you never know.
Yeah. And you can still get pretty decent value, I found, on some Jordan stuff on eBay if you're finding expiring auctions. And some of like the short printed inserts are going for big money that you wouldn't even imagine like 90s cards going for. So that's definitely something to bear in mind too, especially if you can get it in PSA 10 condition. Like, you're getting a super premium on some of that stuff.
Thought I had one of my Jordans somewhere.
I was gonna say I was getting ready for you to floss, Nate. That was your moment, man.
I think I messed up the floss time. I don't know where I put that. Maybe I have it in a grading pile. It might be in a grading pile.
Where it should be.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I do. I'll go find different metals and stuff that are $5-10 or something like that, or little harder to get insert, and I'll grade them. You know what I mean? I'll send them in bulk, and if they're a good enough grade, which most of these are pretty pristine for the most part, because Jordan was that guy in the 90s, and people knew his cards were going to be valuable, and for whatever reason this person put on eBay, it didn't do well, and here it is with me. So now I'm going to send it to PSA, and hopefully it comes back a 10, and anything Jordan in a 10 right now is doing pretty decent. So I don't even basically have to look and check the prices or the comps, because for the most part, everything Jordan is going to be over $100 in a PSA 10.
Yep. 88 Jordan's starting to spike a little bit now too. Is his third year, because a lot of people are priced out of that second year now too.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that you'll see. Well, not a few times, but it's something you're going to see more and more often as we go. Like, these players, they're taking off. So having second year cards of some of these guys aren't a bad idea. You don't want to get them for everybody, but the superstars with the generational talent are definitely guys you want to have in your collection. Just like earlier, someone was talking about the LeBrons from that select year. Same thing, same exact thing.
Yep, definitely. And key sets are big time too, guys. Just like I was mentioning, like, I think some of the LeBrons are going to be like the Jordans, like Nate was saying, in some of those key sets where, if you get a 10 in a Jordan, it's big money. I think it's going to be the same with LeBron, especially in the short print variants as well. Anything you can find that's a short print or even numbered, anything like that, LeBron, I think, is going to continue to have tremendous value.
If you guys haven't noticed, I've been picking up Prism, like LeBron's in his Laker jersey, and it's all because I have a really good feeling he's going to get more titles here in LA, and he'll be retire as a Laker in the Hall of Fame. So if he does that, his cards in the Laker uniform, I mean, his early stuff, of course, too, second year rookies, of course, but I feel like that stuff is going to be the cards people look after or want to go after and stuff. So I've been just stashing a few that I find cheap at auctions, and just going to keep, like, basically I'm going to probably just keep PSA 10s.
That's what's up. What's up, Lucas? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here, dude.
What up?
Yeah, I definitely see his stuff continuing to definitely go up in value. And the crazy thing is, like you said, like, we could theoretically see multiple more championships in LA. Especially if they end up adding more. Like, because I didn't think coming off of last season they would get as improved as they did coming into this season, but they got better. Imagine, like, as AD continues to develop more and more, and then if they add another key piece, like, it's game over, man.
Like, honestly, I think this year's going to be their like highest point of total talent. I think they'll lose Montrez. I think he only had a team option for a second year, I think, or not team option, a player option.
Yeah,
so he's probably going to decline that if he keeps playing like he's been playing. And you know, I just think that unless like Horton Tucker keeps like going at the rate that he's going and keeps improving, which he possibly could, you know, that would be the only anomaly, or they get some more of these awesome veterans on the bench for a good deal.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see them make a move for Bradley Beal, but I don't know how realistic that's going to be, like salary cap wise and whatnot. But that would have been epic to see, you know, a guy like, you know, his talent go and mesh out there with LeBron and AD. And the nice thing about Beal is he doesn't even need the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? So you can naturally just let LeBron continue to facilitate, just let him spot up. What up, Leroy? Good to see you, man.
I think what you end up seeing eventually is whenever LeBron retires, you'll see one of these younger guys from this class or Zion's class end up jumping in with AD over in LA.
That'd be cool.
That's just my guess on the situation of what will eventually happen. But yeah, I think they're going to be set up for success for the next 4, 5, 6 years, honestly, just because their timeline with AD type talent, with if they can sign Schroeder to another contract, which I don't think they did yet, but you know, if they do that, they'll be in good shape.
Yep, completely agree. So, do you guys have any questions you'd like to ask Nate or I before we begin to wind down today? I am going to go grab a link from Nate's YouTube channel so you guys can come check out our auction tomorrow, and I'm going to drop that in the chat so that you can set a reminder. We're going to have really awesome deals tomorrow. I got my GMA submission back, so you will definitely see some slabbages there.
Packers just scored a touchdown. The receiver I picked up scored.
Nice.
That's awesome. Lazar. I was telling Deafness about Lazar.
What's the score?
32-18 Green Bay.
Nice.
6 minutes ago.
All right, guys, so I just dropped the link to our auction in the chat. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to Nate, and then also hit that reminder for this show so you'll know exactly when we go live. Because like I said, we're going to be bringing that heat tomorrow. And Nate, is there anything you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, we'll just see at the auction. We're on the way we're doing the same thing Pittsburgh is doing, 2K slabs and cash. So subscribe to Pittsburgh, subscribe to me, have double the chance to win slabs or cash. That
sounds like a fantastic reason to subscribe to the both of us, because who doesn't like slabs and who doesn't like cash? I feel like if you don't like slabs, you should like cash.
Cash is like the one thing everyone needs a little extra, especially if you're trying to buy cards, you know.
Come and get it. We got slabs and we got cash. Who wants them? 2,000 subscribers, guys. We're both getting very close. So help us get there, and you very well could be the one who wins slabs and cash. And we will be doing that on a live stream. So you guys will be able to pick your slab live, and then you'll be able to actually choose whether or not you want to keep the slab or whether we buy it off of you for said price. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys get to be a part of that with us. But we'll see you tomorrow at our auction on Nate's channel. So come on out and get some good deals, guys, because we're going to be letting stuff go well under eBay prices. Hope you guys have a good night.